Good afternoon, boys and girls, children of all ages. Steve Cunningham here with Sons of Fidelium coming at you at 3:16 p.m. September 18th, 2025, in the year of our Lord. Happy St. Joseph Cupertino Day. Again, if you check out the playlist, you'll see it up and posted on X and Facebook and all that jazz and posts. So if you've probably already seen a few sermons. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, the Flying Monk, I think it's called, from I think it was 1930s, 1920s. Very when movies used to be good. All right, let's get right into it because DC put Buddha up today or yesterday. Here's the golden statue of once and future King President DJT holding a Bitcoin placed outside the U.S. Capitol. So, if you haven't heard the endless yellings from Protestants about the golden calf or anything like that, no, I'm kidding. Ain't none of them bringing this up. There ain't no Protestant in the world yelling about, "Hey, that's idolatry. Thou shalt not make any any statues or nothing." No one's talking about it. They just go after us with Mary. That you would think this was a fake joke. I actually did. I thought it was fake news at first. I had to look it up a couple times to make sure. I actually looked up to I found 8 different links to make sure that this wasn't a joke. And that's why I used the Bitcoin Junkies Twitter page handle, just because it's not, it's a little bit more trustworthy in these kind of ideas. If you haven't, that's why, like I said, Clown Planet. You're not seeing any of the cheerleaders talk about this. I can pretty much guarantee my life no cheerleader has talked about this one. Yes, as C. Diaz just said, what? Yes, this is not the Onion. This really happened. And I think it was only going to be there for a couple days. Maybe this was funny, the J.D. Vance statue coming soon. I can't remember how many. I think it's like 24 hours, but still, it's about 12 feet tall. And yeah, they put it in the Capitol. You can't make You can't make this stuff up. Here's the real president, as Dave DeCamp of AndyWar.com says. Quiet, our president is speaking. Benjamin war criminal Netanyahu says Charlie Kirk, who he didn't like and was threatening and blackmailing, was a great man. He deserves honor, not lies. He's doing his how would you say podcast tour just to let everybody know he did not kill him. So he's over, as I think it was Blumenthal brought up, man, he is overcompensating for something. He is everywhere going, we did not do that. We did not do it. Make sure you did not do that. By the way, he will be in town in 11 days, the same day when they supposed to throw the book at was it Tyler, the kid's name, the 22-year-old name in Utah, the same day. So maybe Bibby was going to be there too, or he'll make the phone call, make sure you do it, get this right, or maybe he'll be suicided. I don't know. I mean, I trust Bibby less than I trust the media, government, and the FBI, and that's already all the way at the extreme lows. This was a great one. Let me go and play this. Well, I'll note that. Never mind. I won't go through all this. He's reading this tweet right here. You see Murray Bannon is reading his tweet. He goes, I try not to be a conspiracy theorist, but I really have a hard time believing in a short text exchange. Remember the text exchange that you heard about the other day? The alleged shooter makes his confession, confirms location of the weapon, confirms the type of weapon, confirms it was wrapped in a towel, confirms his motive, exonerates the decoy, George Zinn, admits to the bullet engravings, confirms the wardrobe change, confirms how long he's been planning it was like over a week, discloses the existence and location of now destroyed pre-written confession note, randomly tells his boyfriend that his dad is a diehard MAGA, as if he would already have known given the nature of their relationship. Things you might not have already picked up on. And is worried about his dad, Grandpa, being upset if he doesn't come home with the rifle, not the fact that he just used it to commit a murder. Not to mention a 22-year-old terminally online Zoomer uses phrases like squad car, drop point, swept the area, my vehicle, till I died of old age, my old man. I'm sorry, I just don't believe that. It was great because Bannon reads that exactly, goes, and at the end he says, this is a perfect summary. Yeah, it says right here, that was a perfect summary. So I'm not the only kook out there that doesn't buy all this. I'm sure there's some of you guys all on here too. There are some out there in our circle that just buys a hook, line, and sinker and hasn't made a thought past it. There's one of them has literally said, "I believe the official narrative." Done. The rest, and he goes, "The rest of you guys are a bunch of wackos." Okay, I accept being a wacko. Here's Max Blumenthal explains the real purpose of Trump's ICE. ICE isn't just about immigration, it's about normalizing the secret police in our society. The kidnapping of Latinos who are suspected of being undocumented migrants is a pilot program for a larger agenda. I cannot argue that one bit because eventually they will come for, I think. Well, you probably know. I mean, they've already gone after how many U.S. citizens, how many Purple Hearts, how many, I mean, it's just the military alone guys that they picked up because they didn't like the way they looked. Frankenstein drug, 100 times stronger than fentanyl, found in New York. DEA says, morning America, morning America, morning in America, morning. Why would they put that twice in the headline? There's a told you synthetic opioid going around. Anyway, it's a trendy drug. The DEA said that they discovered pills laced with an extremely potent nitazine compound in the drug bust on New York's Long Island. And again, you can go, if you haven't noticed underneath, I have a link for all the links for the show notes. So go into show notes, click that link. You'll see all this. You can play this and send it to anybody too. I don't know if anybody's seen this headline yet. This came out a couple, 6 days ago, actually. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, WWE legend The Rock's daughter slammed by fans after post in wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. I would have yelled that out. I would have liked to yell that out, but behind that wall is the kids' room, and our little one is still sleeping for nap time, so I didn't want to wake him up. I would really belted that out a little bit louder. Let's see. She shared a post from a comedian just hours after Kirk's assassination. I didn't know he even had a daughter. Rain Johnson, 24. It wasn't terrible. I mean, it's insensitive, but it wasn't terrible. But like, you get what I mean. We're a little insensitive on a lot of things right now. 2 fired in Middle Tennessee for online comments after Charlie Kirk shooting. I was just seeing if they even had the post down here. I'm just going through a few of the posts. Man upset with devil music at heavy metal fest, suspected of speeding towards concert goers. Oh, that's a new one. An extremely religious man upset at the devil music being played at a bar appeared in court Monday, allegedly driving his vehicle on a sidewalk towards people near the event. Okay. Welcome to Big Brother's Digital Prison Part 1, CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currencies. If you don't know what that is, this will be, as I said, 3-part episode on here. We've known about it. You've known about it. Take a look at it. It will be coming in the form of stablecoins in our neck of the woods. Military leaders considering recruiting campaigns centered around Charlie Kirk. And when I saw this photo, I met with The Rock earlier. He looks like he's giving the people his eyebrow right now. Pentagon leaders are considering a new recruiting campaign that would encourage young people to honor the legacy of assassinated conservative activist Charlie Kirk while joining the military, according to 2 officials familiar with the planning. The idea would be to frame the recruiting campaign as a national call to service. The official said possible slogans the Pentagram leaders have discussed include Charlie has awakened a generation of warriors, according to the official. They are going to use his name to the end of time. Never let a crisis go to waste. They are using that. ABC pulls Jimmy Kimmel off air for Kirk comments after FCC pressure. Now, one thing about this is I'm not for cancel culture, but I'm mainly not for the government doing it. If ABC wanted to fire somebody, let ABC fire. They have all the right to do it. The problem is a lot on both sides of this. There's going to be people saying the First Amendment, 1A, 1A, 1A. 1A means Congress shall not do. Now, that's where it goes into the president. President can't go out and cancel somebody. Congress can't do that. Anybody else, if the state of California wants to get rid of it, fine. If ABC wants to get rid of it, fine. If a business wants to prevent you from buying something, fine. If a business wants to get rid of somebody, fine. If business wants to fire somebody for tweeting something, totally fine. That's the business's right to do that. You can't force a business to buy anything, to do anything, to make anything, anything like that. The state has no authority on that. So I'm not for that part. I'm also for consistency, which I will have that with that. I don't know if you've seen. I posted a couple weeks ago about the. Was that you? Was that you X account? Trump, Mr. Operation Warp Speed, millions and millions, since we're doing the rock, of dead people thanks to him, and nobody remembers it. It is a diabolical, this Trump Stein. Yeah, nobody, you won't see any of the cheerleaders bring that up. And remember, I keep bringing up day one, you had Stargate come up. Still in the works, $500 billion for mRNA tech. Mark Marion, Patton Oswalt called for action in the wake of Kimmel's suspension. This is a deciding moment. If they can come after Kimmel, they can come after all of us. After Kimmel's suspension, Trump set sights on Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers. Do it, NBC. Again, he shouldn't be doing this. Barack Obama, Ben Stiller, Rosie O'Donnell, Wanda Sykes, and more defend Kimmel. This isn't right. And I'm not defending Kimmel. Kimmel's terrible. Jimmy Kimmel's cancellation proves right-wingers are the real snowflakes. Actually, just shows that they're not consistent. But, I mean, Kimmel was part of, you ever heard of the Man Show back in the day on Comedy Central? And he talks about when he started going after Trump about things that he was getting paid to do. This just shows the hypocrisy of these guys. I mean, hey, no one's going to lose any sleep over Jimmy doing it. It is what it is. He shouldn't. If you're in that position, try not to be an idiot, but these guys do it. As there's a Carson line going out. He goes, is an old video. He's being interviewed on 60 Minutes. And he said, I would just keep it as entertainment. I wouldn't do very, what do you say, shows that are all very serious, because he goes, if you get into serious stuff, then you start thinking that your opinion matters, and then your head gets bigger. These guys started thinking, remember the shot thing, the whole Stephen Colbert, he was doing the dancing with the jabs and all that. They're just all, mostly they're loudmouths, just pieces for the government anyways, which Whoopi censor The View ditches hot topics, avoiding Kimmel suspension talk as new episode reruns old conversation. Man, who wrote that? And this is a great little clip back to back of the hate speech Bondi versus Kirk. I think I played it last time. If you haven't seen it, go check out the show notes on it. It talks about Bondi being, we will go after them. And then Kirk saying, no, I'm open for all speech. No, there's no such thing as hate speech. Now, on the one side, Kirk was a 1A absolutist, which means that you can say anything you want and it doesn't matter. I mean, there's obviously just common sense things like screaming fire in an open theater. You're not supposed to do that. But it's the whole 1A being incorporated for everything. Again, Kirk was a centralist. He was a corporationist. All those guys. Judge Knapp is a incorporation guy too. And Kirk and him did not agree because Judge is not a centralist and Kirk was. So if you get mad at me for saying that Kirk was a centralist, hey, that's the fact. So we can bring that up. He thought the government, the solutions, the federal government, and that's the thing for all thing. He called it one country. We got to fix this country. Okay, whatever. You can't do that. No one's going to, no matter who you are, what book you're coming out with, you're not fixing this. If you consider this as one centralized idea, one nation, all that stuff, you come up with that idea, you automatically fail. You're not going to be able to pull it off. Anyways, so this is good. He's talking about the free speech and hate speech, and about the Bondi thing, and even who was it? Crowder goes after Bondi, going, wait, time out, get rid of her. And the thing is she's, like I said yesterday, Trump's mouthpiece. So you'll see, you never see these guys calling out, hey, we got to get rid of DJT. He's bringing her in. He's okay with it. He's fine with it. No, they only just go after his minions, his pawns. They don't touch the king, because they know if they touch the king, they're gone. It's kind of like the opposite of chess. They want to stay clear of the king. Here's Ryan Christian, Last American Vagabond, saying that they are all such hypocrites. It is clear they're either too stupid to recognize that or have zero principles and simply do not care. He's doing this because of mostly peaceful memes going, I have confirmation of the Department of War that Army Colonel Scott Stevens is suspended and under investigation. Thank you for all your anons. And it's talking about his first, the post was, Army Colonel Scott Stevens believes Kirk deserved to be murdered and that anyone who holds to his mainstream conservative views are evil. He is a radical leftist and unfit to lead our nation's finest. As I told a friend of mine, they were texting on Signal, and I go, no, the problem is this hyperbolic language coming from both sides. I mean, we're supposed to hate all lefties, or all lefties are supposed to kill. I mean, Tel Aviv cruise was on the other day. All lefties are trying to kill you. I have a lefty family living across the street. They've given me strawberry jam. They haven't killed it yet. They haven't tried. They haven't thought about it. I haven't heard them ever bring it up. And on top of it, you read this like, holy cow, that's terrible. And if you read the post that the guy did, it's nowhere near what this post says over here. Compare it. The death of Kirk in Utah was tragic. However, we can take comfort in the fact that Charlie was doing what he loved best, spreading messages. Now he's being, I guess, sarcastic, whatever it is, spreading messages of hate, racism, homophobia, misogyny, transphobia on college campus. Okay, you can like smack him around for that one. It also allows us to see who in our lives supports these views. I would offer empathy, but Charlie hated empathy, and that's apparently, from what I understand, a true statement from people that said that about. I think there's a video. Charlie saying it's an emotion. We don't care. We're not, emotions need not apply. As we have been told, that's coming from him, not me. As we have been told in the wake of so many other tragedies, we have to move on. We can't make this political. And does that sound anything near what this mostly peaceful meme said? Not at all. So should he be suspended for that? Here's a former DNC male youth outreach coordinator, Olivia Juliana. Juliana is pledging to go on a hunger strike until ABC brings back Jimmy Kimmel. And maybe she'll be a little bit more healthier at this, because that is just, that's definitely a meal right there. So like those food prices are coming down. Here's this X account. Gunther Eagleman back in 2025. Good riddance to cancel culture. April 10th, 2025. Now, September 14th, 2025, it is your moral duty to get libtards fired. And Gunther and all these guys are paid X accounts cheerleaders. I will never touch never say anything that goes off the 3x5 card. Let's see. Here's Laura Loomer. There's Jason Bassler talking about it. And just like that, the right became the anti-free speech, censorship-happy, woke mob cancel culture they screeched about for 4 years. Loomer, sometimes I wonder what my life would have been without cancel culture and censorship. I think I would have enjoyed it much more. March 7th, 2025. Now, September 15th, 2025, so many people have been fired. I'm so proud of you guys. The consistency is what ticks me off on this. I thought I had another one. Maybe I didn't. But let me see if this you has. I'll just click it real quick. Brendan Carr, should the government censor speech it does not like? Of course not. The FCC does not have a roving mandate to police speech in the name of public interest. February 14, 2019. 20 hours ago. I want to thank Nexstar for doing the right thing. Local broadcasters have an obligation to serve the public interest. Greg Abbott. I just signed a law protecting free speech on college campuses, June 9th, 2019. September 16th, 2025. Hey, Texas State, this conduct is not accepted at our schools. Expel this student immediately. Mock and assassination must have consequences. Again, pick one. Loomer, here's Cat Turd, who is literally, no, I'll stop. I won't go. What kind of people would snitch on their neighbors? April 19th, 2020. September 12, 2025. A searchable database for over 20,000 individuals celebrating Kirk's murder will soon be available on our website. It will be searchable by general location, employer, and industry type. Political violence can never be the answer. Okay. He reposted it. Let's see. Anybody else here? There? Stephen Miller. Cancel culture is fascism. Uh, yeah, Miller's one of the big cheerleaders right now. Da-da-da. Jack, cancel culture is dead. And he says the searchable database. Da-da. Ian Yeager. Liberals cannot stand the difference of opinion, so they will cancel you. November 28, 2022. I'm calling on Barnes& and Noble to remove all Stephen King's books from their shelves after his post about Kirk, September 13th, 2025. Matt Wallace, cancel culture. February 21st, 2023. Now, September 12th, 2025. My team and I have gotten at least 25 people fired from their jobs for celebrating the assassination of Kirk. Should we keep going? Our constitutional right to free speech must be protected at all costs. October 15, 2024. Representative Anna Paulina Luna. September 12th, every college and university in this country must understand that Congress is watching very closely what universities take the action by firing professors who celebrated the murder of Kirk or circulated videos. It goes on and on. You see the hypocrisy and the inconsistency of things. Amy, how you doing? Where are we at? Here's 7Cs. While everyone continues to argue about Kirk, technocracy and biodigital convergence continues. Hate speech laws to own the left. Digital ID to stop illegals. Stablecoin scams for financial freedom. AI, just a tool. H-1B file data centers for American jobs. Filled data centers. Biometric databases to stop terrorists. It is no wonder every generation before us fell for things like the moon landing and 9/11. People are, well, you can say, the word, defending their favorite internet personalities while the actual decision makers continue passing the boot. I talked about this yesterday. Trump and Starmer signed US-UK tech prosperity deal. U.S. firms led by Microsoft, including BlackRock, NVIDIA, OpenAI, Oracle, Amazon, and CoreWeave, will invest in $42 billion in the UK to develop AI for healthcare, quantum computing, and nuclear projects. The Israel uses. In translation, the AI that Israel uses to target innocents in Gaza will be coming to a police station near you, rated R. Yep. Technocracy is coming full steam ahead. The Turning Point board has unanimously elected Erica Kirk as new CEO and chair of the board. In prior decisions, Charlie expressed to multiple executives that this was what he wanted in the event of his death. I have no, way of one or the other. I said before all this, I knew of Kirk, but I didn't watch any of his stuff. Again, because I wasn't a fan of him being a centralist. It was like, all right, well, that's great. And that's not the answer, but hey, I can deal with him more than I can deal with Bernie Sanders. Now, if the narrative is right that he was being blackmailed and threatened by the Zionists, see if she can stand up against those guys too. If the narrative is right that it was just some 22-year-old Mormon weirdo, then she's going to be fine. But if the other narrative that no one wants to talk about is real, then it's going to be a bumpy road probably for her. I wanted to put this in because of the whole idea of the FBI being involved, and everyone was talking about. And it's like, can you remember this? This is Vivek and Kirk from long ago in 2023, July 13th. Enough is enough. Root out the corruption and shut down the FBI. Vivek, my plan is to shut down the FBI is grounded in pragmatism. At the local level, we have police and prosecutors. Amen. At the federal level, we have U.S. Marshals and the DOJ. Intermediary bureaucracy is rife with risk for politicized corruption has been happening since J. Edgar Hoover in the 60s. And funny enough, that was on the Kirk show. Here is Kash Patel. The first thing he says once and future King President DJT should do with the FBI, you shut down the FBI headquarters building and open it up the next day as a museum of the deep state. And obviously he now runs the FBI. In case you haven't seen this or heard about it or care about what's going on in Gaza, they were taking shelter in a school and Israel drone strikes them. They're just children. Israel targets them. Yes, this happens for quite some time. It's the leading place for child death right now is that. But again, most of us don't care. This is a great synopsis of things right now. Michael Rechtenwald, the Charlie Kirk assassination has people on the right blaming people on the left for political violence. Told that this before. They're making everyone go against each other. Hate thy neighbor. This construction plays right into the hands of the ruling class controlling the state, which commits the vast majority of violence against the people. Our enemy is not left or right, but rather those on top oppressing us and the world at large. I wouldn't have been surprised if the assassin turns out to be an intelligence agency patsy or plant. Of course not. Of course, I wouldn't be surprised on that. And again, that goes back into centralization. Why is people angry? Eventually, I'm going to get to doing that podcast. I'm going to put it together. I got the stuff ready for. I just got to put it together. Why is everybody angry? It's because of centralized ideas, nationalism, one size fits all, everything. If it wasn't like that, the anger would not be there. Here's Reclaim the Net, retweeting about this. Visa enters the digital ID race. Visa plus Tech 5 just signed a 7-year global deal to fuse payments with biometric ID wallets holding your face, fingerprints, and money. It's part of the UN World Economic Forum 2030 push for digital public infrastructure. Here's Israeli cybersecurity firm buys ExpressVPN for close to $1 billion from the Times of Israel. Again, while you're focused over here, all this stuff is going on. Just like the other day, what happened? Kirk is shot the next day. They have a vote in D.C. blocking the Epstein vote. Here's Blumenthal. You think this would be a bigger scandal that Trump's chief of staff, Susie Wiles, literally worked for Benjamin Netanyahu and helped Israel's Mossad manipulate Trump into bombing Iran? America's second? There it is right here. Next, Blumenthal exposes Susie Wiles' connection to the Netanyahu government. Now, Wiles worked for Netanyahu 2020 re-election campaign, helped isolate Trump to be fed Mossad talking points. Quote, we're unmasking the biggest foreign influence infiltration operation in American history that is basically taking control of an administration that says it's America first and has taken us into a very dangerous place. You know, there's a book called Infiltration. You think we could do something on that one? How crazy is that? America first. And your chief of staff literally worked for a foreign leader. What's going on here? And why am I the only one talking about this? Pepper balls, rifle rounds, drones. UC police get green light for military-grade weapons. Isn't that fun? Now your University of California police is pretty much now the military. Mark Zuckerberg promises new smart glasses will unlock super intelligence. Launch of Meta's first model with a built-in screen marred by technical glitches. That's an understatement. Here's what they look like, by the way. There's something odd about Meta's new Ray-Ban AR glasses. Zuckerberg introduced Meta Ray-Ban display and Meta Neural Band on Wednesday as tech giant's first consumer-ready smart glasses with a built-in digital display. Oversized black frame glass become a kind of a status symbol with the Democratic Party, merely a contest of who can outdo whom with bigger black frames while pushing endless streams of woke narratives. So it's kind of like the Harry Carey glasses idea. And look at it. They put some TV boxes on my face. For everyday folks hoping for AR glasses, Meta's new glasses instead project a sense of unhinged liberal vibes. Yeah, does that look like it's a cool thing? I mean, if you're willing to spend $799 on a pair of AR glasses that give off progressive vibes, Goldman Analysis Eric Sheridan has outlined the key takeaways from Meta Connect 2025 keynote. New wave feature. Anyways, you can read it. Hawaiians invite to. Let me try that again. Hawaiians unite to buy back land from billionaire in a move never seen before. Maluaka residents want to return Hawaiian lands to Hawaiian hands. Yeah, that's a great idea. For generations, Native Hawaiians have been displaced from ancestral lands and on the island of Molokai, where 1/3 of the island is owned by Hong Kong headquartered billionaire investment firm Goiko Group. Goiko? I don't know. That physical separation is abundantly clear. On the island's west end, barbed wire fences and no trespassing signs keep people out of the Molokai Ranch, spanning over 55,000 acres as it sits abandoned, almost like a ghost town. Not just a ranch, it's scattered with deteriorating remains of capitalist dreams, a high-end lodge, a glamping resort, a restaurant, a golf course left behind by the wealthy business people who brought and sold the ranch years ago. The current owner, with plans to build 200 luxury homes, but it shut down operations in 2008 after the community opposed the development. The company put a ranch up for sale in 2017 at an asking price of $260 million. Ever since, the land has been sitting in limbo, and the foreign billionaire owner has been absent for more than a decade. Following the years of neglect, the Molokai Heritage Trust formed with the goal to return Hawaiian lands to Hawaiian hands. The group is done waiting for the benevolent buyer to purchase the Molokai Ranch in hopes that things will be different. Instead, the community is taking the offensive approach, coming together peacefully with the collective goal to buy back the land and take care, protect, and steward. Think locally, act locally. Yeah, kick those infiltrators out. You know how they got part of the states, right? They call it by the bayonet constitution. They pretty much threatened to kill them all if they didn't sign it. GOP lawmaker makes blockbuster claim. FBI has at least 20 names of suspected Epstein clients, and I would believe that whenever they actually do it. Apparently, it's from Massey. Today's hearing, I told FBI Director Kash Patel that we know FBI still has unreleased documents which contain 20 names of rich and politically connected men who Epstein trafficked girls and young women to. The FBI needs to release the Epstein files and investigate these men. I think it'll be a cold day in Hades when it happens, but you never know. UK to formally recognize Palestinian statehood after DJT leaves. See, like a DJ, he's over there partying right now, having a big drink after they did the $41 billion sign-off thing. And UK's like, hey, have a good one, bye-bye. And then call up, all right, we're going to recognize Palestine as a state. That is fun. That is hysterical. The Prime Minister Keir Starmer is expected to confirm. Starmer is the guy he just signed that big deal with, that the British government will vote to recognize a Palestinian state hours or days after Trump's visit to Britain. You got to wait for the Zionists to leave before that happens. Why Trump privately fumes about Netanyahu but gives him free reign? He's dirty word me. The U.S. president said of the Israeli prime minister after strikes on Hamas in Qatar. Trump is frustrated with Israeli prime minister and war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu. The question is whether he'll be angry enough to do anything about it. Let me see. What is no chance for 100, Alex? Trump has told several aides in recent weeks that Netanyahu prefers using military force to compel Hamas surrender instead of the president's preferred method of a negotiated ceasefire, which will kill the negotiators anyway. So they're just trying to get the time down. This frustration boiled over last week's hours after Israel attacked Hamas negotiators in Qatar, an operation that threatened to derail fragile peace talks. Speaking of which, let me see what's going on in AndyWar.com. War Pigs edition of the program. Smotrich, U.S. and Israel in talks of dividing Gaza. Then Yahoo points to Israeli-backed Qatari payments to Hamas. House seeks to expand secretive arms stockpile used in Gaza war. IDF starvation kills 102 Palestinians in Gaza. We talked about, I think that was from the same one from yesterday. U.S. Ukraine envoy, U.S. could kick Russia's butt. Trump, U.S. has bombed. We already did that. 3 boats near Venezuela. Yeah, most of that's still the same from yesterday. Ben & Jerry's co-founder resigns over social mission being silenced. 8 troops punished over social media posts about Kirk. I talked about that yesterday. Yeah. Ukraine is set to deploy new kamikaze drones. That sounds fun. EU says India's Russian oil purchases hinder partnership. Japan deploys F-15 fighters to NATO base in Europe and North America. Japan destroyer Kokai will be Tomahawk missile capable by March, official says. U.S. is not the partner that engaged in good cooperation with allies it once was. Korea's top diplomat says. Uh, Australia, Papua New Guinea to delay mutual defense treaty. Man, the cities where buying a house is most and least affordable as mortgage rates change. There's something about it saying that it could be $0 and you still couldn't be able to afford anything. It felt like I had missed our window in that moment, Vaughn said. He had nearly given up waiting for interest rates to come down as it would do little good in the LA area market where the median home price now stands at $972,000. That's just the average. It just seems really unattainable at this point. Yeah, you probably should just move. That's the only way you can do it. Let's see. The current U.S. median home price of $410,000 is nearly $100,000 more than that of 2019. That bubble is going to burst big time. Median price climbed 1.6 million in San Jose area, 736,000 in Boston, and 587,000 in DC area, according to Zillow. The typical buyer needs to earn $126,000 a year to afford a U.S. median home price, according to Harvard Center, which is nearly 60% jump from the $79,000 income required in 2021. In 11 cities, the current 6.35% rate affordable for families earning the area's median income. In Pittsburgh, for example, the median home price is $229,000 is affordable relative to a local median income of $77,000. Several cities in the South are affordable by administrators. Yeah, especially in the South, homes are going down, depending on where in the South. Congressional staffer 35 dies after catching fire at her Texas home as her eerie last words are revealed. Here is liberal, conservative, Cubs fan. Catholics project many images onto the Pope. Unlike Francis, Leo XIV has given few clues about where he stands on issues dividing the church, though he's definitely a White Sox guy. Followers fill in the gaps. Yeah, it is kind of like all over the place sometimes. If I don't pay attention to it as much as the guys that literally look at it every time he sneezes, they put a post up. Macron's to offer photographic evidence to prove Bridget is a woman. I wonder what that photographic evidence. Do what? French president and wife will show photos in court of Mrs. Macron pregnant and raising her children. I'm going to get you 500,000 more subs so you can do all this. So you can do. Can you just do this all day? Yeah, I mean, dude, that would get to 800K. But I mean, we're moving. We've never had that. It's just been steady. We're almost at 350,000. You saw Tim Pool. He ended up playing a video on here. People were like, "You're going to have so many." We ain't had no spike came from that. Tell the other big names in the Catholic world to start helping out. I would love. Hey, you know what? I don't hate the other guys that are in to do this. I would love for us to work together, but nobody wants to work together. I'm all about helping out and getting a team, like an Avengers type deal, and everyone doing something. But everyone wants to be on their own. I like team sports and team working as a team, but. Well, if any of those guys with big names ever watched it, let me know. I don't hate any of them. I'm just like, man, come on, you're on the right. You could do so much better if you fix up a couple things. Man in his 30s died. What? Get out of this way. Man in his 30s dies after riding roller coaster at new Universal theme park. Just months after the theme park was open, a man in his 30s passed away after riding a much-loved roller coaster, the Epic Universe, at Epic Universe, part of Universal Orlando. Now I haven't been there in how old am I? Almost 35 years. It's probably unaffordable right now. I couldn't imagine. Wonder what ride it was. I mean, it probably wasn't around when I was there, but. The new iPods can translate languages in your ears. This is profound. The technology is one of the strongest examples yet of how artificial intelligence can be used in a seamless, practical way to improve people's lives. That is a pretty cool idea, especially if you don't know a language. But I mean, it would also be great if we could just learn the languages. But I mean, obviously, you're not going to be able to learn 30 different ones. That's going to be hard. But yeah, I've seen a commercial for something like that. You probably seen those too. When the ladies that are they're doing a meeting, and the lady, I think she's the lady speaking Japanese or Chinese to her, and you see the translation go through in her ears. I had to put this up. Thinking about this, about our government in a sense, and what they're telling you, and the narratives are saying. Alexander Solzhenitsyn, we know they're lying. They know they are lying. They know that we know they are lying. We know that they know that we know they are lying, and they still continue to lie. Think about that every time you hear a narrative. This day in history, 1931, Mukden seized by Japanese. 2020, American lawyer Ruth Darth Bader Ginsburg died at age 87. May God have mercy on her soul. 2019, a nest of northern giant hornets was destroyed on Vancouver Island in British Columbia. It was the first nest reported in North America where the insects are an invasive species. I swear I saw one of those last year take down a dragonfly, and it scared them. But right out there, I remember I heard a thud, and I see this gigantic bee or something on top of a dragonfly. I love dragonflies. And it dragged it into a hole. I was horrified. I grabbed a rock, put it on there, and went to go, let me find it. I usually never use any kind of poison stuff that could go in. I was looking for the biggest poison thing I could find. Like, I don't know what's going to kill this thing. This thing is terrible. Scottish voters rejected a referendum that would have made Scotland an independent country. That was 2014. 2001, for the second straight day, Typhoon Nari pounded Taiwan with record rainfalls, causing massive flooding, killing 79 people. 1970, American rock guitarist and singer Jimi Hendrix, who fused American traditions of blues, jazz, and rock and soul with techniques of British avant-garde rock to redefine electric guitar in his own age, died of an overdose in London. 1965, Japanese astronomers something something and something something discovered comet something something. I'm not even going to try that. 1961, UN Secretary General Dag Hammarskjöld, we're just going to call him Dag, died in a plane crash that generated much speculation. A 2017 investigation found that it appears plausible that an external attack or threat may have been the cause of the crash. 1948, a local communist commander seized power in Mundam, Indonesia, as part of a rebellion effort against the Sukarno government in an incident known as the Madiun Affair. 1933, Canadian ice hockey coach Scotty Bowman was born. That was all we got. 1905, Greta Garbo, actress, was best known for her portrayals of strong-willed heroines, most of them being compellingly enigmatic for as herself. I'm dying. Was born in Stockholm. 1898, British forces under Sir Horatio Herbert Kitchener confronted French forces commanded by Jean-Baptiste Marchand at the disputed Fort Fashoda in the Egyptian Sudan. I know you guys had that for your trivia already. It's Trivial Pursuit, right? 1895, Booker T. Washington declared the Atlanta Compromise a classic statement on race relations in a speech at the Atlanta Exposition. 1885, Bulgarian nationalists and Eastern Romolia mounted a coup and declared the province unification with Bulgaria, leading to the Serbio-Bulgarian War. 1819, French physicist Jean-Bernard Léon Foucault, who introduced and helped develop a technique of measuring with extreme accuracy the absolute velocity of light and provided experimental proof that Earth rotates on its axis, was born. I bet Sungenis would probably dispute that was a provided experimental proof. Yeah, I think Sungenis would have some questions about that. Anyway, God love you. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to go do I hit the wrong button already. Hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all that jazz. What else? Comment. Yeah, doing the News from a Pew thing with Rick here in about 5 hours, 8:30-ish, 8:40-ish. That's why we're doing this afternoon. About to do the Cunningham pickleball tournament with the kids. and gonna get back here. I got to edit another book, do some more videos, all that stuff. So kind of taking a break. I've been going since about 8, 9. I don't know, lost count. God love you. Have a great rest of the day. Talk to you soon. Thank you for showing up too.